What's up, everybody from the Petersen Automotive Museum?
Today we're taking a closer look at the 2022 Toyota Supra.
So Kelly, today we have a pretty special car today at the museum. Of course, we're looking at the new Supra.
Yeah, I mean, it's been out for roughly 3 years now, but this is my first time ever getting in one and driving one. I saw it at the auto show when it first launched, but getting to drive it, I'm very excited.
No, this is actually one of the cars that I'm pretty excited to have here at our studio. You know, I was pretty apprehensive at first because there is the concept, which was called the FT1, which maybe some of the viewers might know. On that concept, this car is actually a lot longer, but this one is a lot shorter, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows the Mark IV Supra. That was like iconic Supra. Yeah. And when I first saw this when it launched, I was like, it's a lot smaller. At least it looks like it's a lot smaller than that one. So yeah, I agree. It's definitely a lot different than the concept in both its predecessor as well.
But yeah, here, when we look at the front here, it's very distinct. I think this opening right here, it's very reminiscent of like the early, you know, like 2010s Formula One cars. I think that's super cool. I think it just gives it a very distinct look.
Yeah, the LED strips and all LED lighting, of course, always makes a good impression as well. And then the splitter just adds a really nice touch. Will say though, it is a little low, not super low, but you know, still gotta be careful when you're going out those driveways sometimes.
I think this particular press car, given that it has a little over 5,000 miles, a little bit of scrape down there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Another design cue that I like and that I see is the double bubble up on the roof. What do you think about that?
When you see us get in it later, you'll kind of see it's not a whole lot of room on the inside. Yeah. So I'm sure that's for, you know, taller people that want to get the car, you know, need a little bit of extra headroom. And going off the double bubble, I think just in general, this car has a lot of bubbly features to it. It does. Which kind of reminds me a little bit of the Mark IV. The Mark IV was a little bit of a rounder vehicle. You could see like this round front fender, and this is actually the entire hood. This is actually part of the hood and comes up when you pop it. And then we'll see it around back too. Just those back fenders are just really bubbly. I will point out though, Kelly, as much as I love the way it looks, I hate how these little fake vents exist on here. I think that's a missed opportunity. And you'll see a couple of them around the car. I don't know, maybe they could have done something there. I think, I don't know, I'm just a little disappointed on that part of this car. I agree. I mean, I like functional stuff. I understand like wanting it to look nice too, but we did pop the hood on this and it was pretty warm. So I think making some of these vents functional would probably be a little bit helpful. It makes sense to have a heat extractor because, I mean, it is a turbocharged car and you need a lot of cooling for that, but we're not engineers, so. Yeah, so it must work without them. Exactly. So they really designed this car to be pretty distinct on the road. And as you can see here, there's obviously this line that leads all the way to the back hips, which is pretty ostentatious in a way. There is a fake grille here, like we were talking about up front as well, but I think honestly, granted this piece didn't need to be here, I think it works well with the design, which is probably what they were going for, because it leads directly into this, you know, kind of bubble fender back here and just lines up perfectly and gives it such a unique side profile look. So we're around back now and still pretty aggressive, like from what we saw up front all the way down the car and back to the back now. I mean, it really finishes off the car nicely. Yeah, it continues that overarching theme of just very distinctive lines on this car. One of my favorite parts is kind of this, you know, ducktail integration here in the back. And I can't forget to mention, of course, the twin pipes that really gives it that really distinctive noise. Definitely a lot of pops and bangs on this car, which is really awesome. One of the things that really sticks out to me, no pun intended, but that these back lights actually stick out from the car.
They do.
Pretty far, like compared to your normal vehicle.
Yeah.
So it kind of just gives it like another layer of aggressiveness to me, and just kind of a unique styling that you don't see on a lot of other cars. And of course, you can't forget the iconic Supra badge back here.
Again, Kelly, actually, another fake vent on the side.
I see what they were going for, the one right here, so the air flowing through.
Yeah.
Not actually functional, but always good to have. So first impressions up front, massive hood. Like we were looking at it and we realized like radiators right here, and we see some seals right here. So this section and all of this stuff on the sides over there, not really necessary for the hood. And if you look at that outline, it probably would have been, the size of a normal hood.
Yeah.
But there is quite a few stuff under here, so.
Absolutely, I think overall it's well packaged. Anyways, this car is pretty potent. I mean, it's got an inline 6. It's the very famous B58 motor from, of course, BMW. And it produces 382 horsepower and 368 pound-foot of torque. And this motor is known to be pretty much bulletproof. It's really reliable. I've seen a lot of people in the community, the automotive community, that really tune these motors, and they can push a lot more power than what they usually advertise.
So you're talking about how, huge hood goes with, not compromising on the aesthetics of the vehicle. But it actually does have one purpose that we find over here on the passenger side. There's actually your windshield wiper fluid.
Yeah.
It's right in line with the tire behind the wheel well. So explains the large hood.
Yeah. Okay, Kelly, so inside the Supra, one of the main things that really surprises me is there isn't much visibility. I am a little bit surprised and partly disappointed. Your windscreen is really, really short. It's really hard to see. It almost feels like you're driving a Camaro in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly tall. I'm average height, but I feel cramped in here. Probably because part of my head is blocked already, even though this is the top of the window.
Yeah. And
it's already blocking part of my head. And I'm sure black interior, like all black interior, definitely makes it feel a little bit more smaller too. But yeah, these A-pillars are pretty big, and then these back pillars are even worse.
And given that this is a premium GR Supra, this has some extra bells and whistles. One of the first things, of course, is the heads-up display, which is really nice. That's always useful. And heated seats, for those cold days. And just one of those things where it just gives you a little bit of extra stuff for, again, just comfort, which is we can all appreciate that.
And it also comes with the special JBL speakers, so get that little extra sound when you're listening to your tunes and everything. I personally, though, am a little disappointed with the interior in general. I know you mentioned BMW feels familiar, everything's where it should be. It's a little too much black plastic for me. Even the steering wheel buttons just feel a little bit, cheap, considering, what this car is. And I feel that same way kind of along this dash with the textured plastic. Just kind of gives me that not as premium feel as I would have liked sitting in here.
Now on the inside, there is also a full screen that has Apple CarPlay compatibility. Also, another thing with this car too that they've announced is there's actually a 2-liter version that is available for this car, which is a 4-cylinder instead of a 6-cylinder like our car. Okay, now that we've talked a lot about the car, why don't we actually take it out on the road?
Let's go, I'm excited.
All right, Kelly, now we are driving the Toyota Supra GR, and not gonna lie, this car is pretty exciting. You're driving it right now, you're in the canyons, and the grip is it's pretty remarkable, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3.0 premium, so we got the big boy motor here. It's definitely giving us some power.
Yeah. One of the first things that really comes to my head now that you're obviously pushing a little bit more is just how it's pretty neutral, right? With the chassis, there's no roll or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. Anyways, Kelly, what are your impressions? How does it feel?
Feels good. It feels solid. We're up in Mulholland, so not a whole lot of room to actually like wind it out. Get pretty crowded up here, so just being a little safe. But throwing into some corners already, haven't had any problems with it. And I think we have the Michelin
Pilot Sports
on here, so
the grip is pretty phenomenal. One of the things that I noticed too is that with the 8-speed, it's super smooth. It's probably one of the smoothest automatics right now in the market.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it in the manual mode right now, so it's doing its own thing, but it's shifting right where I need it to.
All right, well, here we are in the canyons. I'm behind the wheel now, and this thing is so fun. It's super fun.
Especially with the turbocharger, definitely very responsive.
It's super responsive. I don't feel any lag at all. But like what we were saying earlier, the 8-speed is so smooth. It's almost like a dual clutch. Upshifts are really crisp. I will say though that downshift takes a little bit of time, but upshifts are so fast. But yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with this car. I mean, I think they did a great job really engineering the fact that, you know, this is really driver focused. I think any enthusiast will really love the way this car drives. I think the B58 motor that they put in this too is super strong. I know in a lot of the community, people tune this engine and it takes up power no problem at all. And all I've heard is good things, and you know what? I think I get it. I get why people love this engine, and so far it's just been one of those things where I think I might want to get one of these cars.
It's a little small for me, but
yeah,
in terms of performance, it's definitely, I mean, it's 0 to 60 is 3.9, I believe. And
that's quick.
I mean, the Cayman GT4 is like 3.7 with the PDK.
Right.
So it is turbocharged versus naturally aspirated, but I mean, it's like, what, half the price?
Yeah.
So you're getting pretty good bang for your buck.
Well, Kelly, this has been a joy to have here in the studio and just spending a little bit of time with it. It's been such an awesome car to have.
Yeah, I mean, this is our first true sports car that we've driven around. So yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. Definitely glad we were able to get our hands on one.
Yeah, so special thank you to Toyota for lending us the Supra. We have a lot more coming for sure, and we can tell you this now, but we are getting the manual 6-speed, and so make sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so, you know, just keep watching our videos, like this one, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.